Look at that in the road. We got a deer. There's a deer up there. Hey everyone, welcome to Log Fun. Right now we are on our way to some gigantic culvert pipes, and they have a few logs stuck against them from when the water was higher. We're gonna loosen up those logs and send them on through. They're pretty big. It's gonna come out the other end like a torpedo. We get to do this almost every spring at this location, and it's gonna be pretty exciting. We'll be there in about 10 minutes. Considering the time of year, this road's in awesome condition. I'm able to keep a consistent almost 50 miles an hour or 80 kilometers an hour. This road's in awesome shape compared to some of the roads we've been on. I was on a section of this road yesterday. I had to use the winch. I actually bottomed out, the mud was so thick. But other areas, it's all right. All right, everyone, we're here. These culverts usually don't have a blockage. They usually just have a couple logs in front of them, big logs that crisscross against the other side. You see, they are huge pipes, really, really big. I don't know what they're made out of. They might just be very high quality galvanized pipes, because you notice there's no rust on them at all. That's just brown slime, which is really cool. So let's go to the other end and see if we have any logs. If we do, we'll go set up camera number 2 so we can see them plopping on out. So you see, during high flow times, it's a swamp, so sometimes these logs get stuck over here. Obviously, when the water's much, much higher, like you see that log right there, I'm gonna try to loosen that up, get it out there and send it through. Nothing's actually blocking them today, but that water obviously got a lot higher, and you can look down inside there at the water lines. These things never really go above 1/3 capacity. Extremely oversized, but cheaper than a bridge. These have been here for years. Let's go take a look at the one over here, which is kind of in the bushes. Just gotta plow through these bushes. Gonna have to check for ticks later. These bushes are also very dusty because of the dirt road next to it. Take a look at this pipe. This pipe got some logs in front of it. We're gonna try to loosen those up. We'll go down there with the big high boots in a minute. I already got the big high boots on because we've been looking at culverts all day. All right, we'll put camera number 2 on the other side in the middle pipe, because the middle pipe has more flow. We're not gonna use that end one. We'll try to get it to go through the middle. Let's see how we wanna set that up. Maybe a magnetic tripod. I don't think that's aluminum. Let's get a magnetic tripod. All right, everyone, these things are metal after all. Well, of course they're made out of metal, but they're iron after all. It's just very good galvanization. I've never seen galvanization on a pipe this old with zero rust. Because these are very old pipes. Camera number 2 on. Look at the size of some of the trees growing on top of these. They've been here a while. Super high quality zinc coating on those. It's a much better type of galvanization. So let's see, how are we gonna get down here? Remember years ago I walked up through one of them, but I don't have a exact plan on how to walk down here. Gotta make sure I don't fall. That water's not too deep to walk in with the big high boots. I think I found my way down. Can hold on to these trees very nicely. There's a beaver chew mark from, that's at least, I'd say 3 years old. So beavers apparently used to be a problem here. All right, step on into the water. There's lots of slime, so don't want to try going through there because I might slip. In situations when I have to go through something like this, I'll put ice cleats on. Yeah, that's super duper slippery. I would put ice cleats on. Let's see if I can move this stuff by hand or if I'm gonna need two hands. Yeah, I better set the tripod up. It always feels like, oh, a car's going by. It always feels like I'm flooding my boots, but I'm actually not. The water's just really cold. All right. Let's put the camera tripod out here. Oh, there's actually a little raised area. Nice. All right. Let's get these things into position to move. Hopefully the current's deep enough. You'll see this on camera too in a moment. Woo! There it goes! Oh, this one's floating nice. That one's not out yet. It's still floating. It's a long pipe. Gotta maneuver this. Get it straightened out. Hopefully it'll go through. Bigger than I thought. But it was mostly out of the water, so it's very buoyant. I'm fighting the current a little, trying to straighten it out. All right, here we go. Even if it did get stuck, the next storm will push it out. Let's see if we can get it through. Is it gonna make it? Is it gonna make it? It's still moving. I don't think that's getting stuck. That pipe's so slimy. Here it goes. There it goes. It's still moving. Yeah, there it goes. Out the other side. Kaboom! Into the plunge pool. Yeah, it got hung up a little bit on the end, but that's okay. Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe not. I see it shifting. It might wiggle around. It's so buoyant in that plunge pool. It's definitely bumping around a bit. It's okay. It's on that side. It can't clog this again. And there are no more culverts in the system for those of you who like to complain. Why are you sending it downstream? Because there's no more pipes. We're in the middle of the wilderness. This thing's going to end up sinking somewhere in the next lake. All right. And now that we're over here, we actually have a little bit of stuff to remove here. Check this out. There's a little bit of stuff here. And there's also a little bit of damage. That may have been an excavator at some point, but we got a little bit of stuff to get out of here. This is Beaver related. Very slippery. I don't want to fall in there. The beavers are really taking advantage of this lip underneath the pipe. There's so many sticks jammed underneath it. So there was a blockage after all. Even the rocks I'm standing on are slippery. There's slime everywhere. But thankfully, these pipes... no, I meant to say that the water's very, very clean. Maybe you saw some of that come out the other side. I don't know if that camera was angled for that. Didn't expect that. Did this other... did not break loose yet. But that's okay. Next storm will push it through. There's nothing it can get stuck on the inside. This pipe is flowing at its highest. They always put them in like this. During a drought, only one of them is supposed to be flowing. This is more Beaver stuff. This is part of a dam. The water current's strong here. I better not lose my balance, or I'm gonna go for a water slide. Just making it a little bit harder for them to build back. Ooh, a fart. Couple more sticks. And we're good. Send it on through. Can't wait to see the other side. That thing plumping out of there. Alright, slippery rocks right here. Gotta be careful. Use these nice trees to help me get out of here. Don't want to fall. It's an 8-foot culvert. And let's go across the road. Oh, I can literally see some of the sticks floating down there. You see them? A couple sticks and debris in the water. That right there might be the first thing we sent through. Oh my gosh! Look at the water going through that. I just realized that's awesome. Wow. I wish I had a chainsaw. I'd cut out like a 4-foot section of that and take it home. That would be an awesome waterfall for one of the ponds. Wood like that, that would make an awesome something. That's so cool. Look, that thing's only holding on by a couple inches. That'll be easy to knock in. Let me set the tripod up and I'm gonna go down there. Let's just make sure you guys are secure and not gonna fall in. All right, good enough. I'm going down there. Let's get that. There's a decent trail on this side, I guess, from fishermen. And it's on its way! Now it's going to do a few rotations. Maybe it'll make its way out of here. Maybe it'll hang around until the next big storm to throw it up on the banks down there. It looks like it's about to chug away though. Let's see, it's about to go over to the current of the much stronger pipe. It's turning it. Is it going to get sent downstream? Also, look at the debris over here we got out of that first one. That's the Beaver dam I was pulling apart. Oh, this thing is turning fast. It looks like it's about to go down. Is it? Or is it just going to keep spinning? It might just keep spinning there. Camera number 2 off. Oh, strong magnet. It's a 300-pound pull force magnet. Yeah, this thing's just gonna be parked here for a little bit, it looks like. Maybe that end of it might be touching bottom. That might be the problem. But it's no longer a concern of these pipes. This eventually drains down into a reservoir where debris like this will get stuck. It'll sink to the bottom before it gets out. Northern Maine is like that. A bunch of little streams entering ponds, leaving ponds. Just natural dams everywhere. There's no human dams, just it enters big ponds, big lakes, leaves. And that's pretty cool. Yeah, that pipe is so slippery. I've walked through it before, but it was during the summer when it was barely flowing. It was still slippery though. But that thing there, assuming there's no bolts or anything on the bottom, that might make a cool water slide. Definitely be fun to take a tube through it. Oh, look what I'm noticing now. This is making like a rotation. Look inside the log. It still has rapid current going through it, like a little aqueduct. There's still a lot of current going through that log. That's cool. Yeah, it's parked. It ain't going anywhere now. But it's not in the way anymore. Because you see the beavers took advantage of that thing being there. These pipes oftentimes have too much flow. So beaver dams just get smashed out of the way by the river. But that was a stable anchor for them to try to make the pond level higher. Not letting that happen. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day. You'll see this on camera too in a moment. Woo! There it goes. Oh, this one's floating nice. That one's not out yet. It's still floating. It's a long pipe. Gotta maneuver this. Get it straightened out. Hopefully it'll go through. Bigger than I thought. But it was mostly out of the water, so it's very buoyant. I'm fighting the current a little, trying to straighten it out. Alright, here we go. Even if it did get stuck, the next storm will push it out. Let's see if we can get it through. Is it gonna make it? Is it gonna make it? It's still moving. I don't think that's getting stuck. That pipe's so slimy. Here it goes. There it goes. It's still moving. Yeah, there it goes, out the other side. And we're off to the next pipe. Here's another section of culvert pipes that are pretty big that often get random logs like that stuck. We're gonna see if it happened. This area, it's less likely, so I haven't even checked these pipes in a couple years. But maybe we'll get a bonus unclogging today. All right, everyone. Looks like someone was after that deer's friend we saw. So right here, just looking around, this area has flooded recently. Remember the first time I ever came here, these trees were a bit smaller. Now when these trees grow leaves, I bet the average person wouldn't even know there's water here in the summer. But typically on roads, anytime there's a dip, there's at least a culvert, whether it be small or a whole river like this. Haven't been here in a bit. But here's a trail. Is it human or moose? Let's take a look. That might be a hoof mark. Look up top, look for anything. Like something's been breaking through here. Can't tell, I really can't tell you yet if it's a human trail or not. I don't see any definite footprints. But there's beavers at some point. I see some beaver chewed stuff, but they probably have who knows how many beaver lodges upstream. And look at that, there's a really small culvert. How did that get there? Maybe from washed down from upstream. The grass is starting to come in, isn't that pretty? It's springtime, the grass is already starting. But it's the middle of May and we're still getting occasional frost up here in northern Maine. This area's growing season doesn't start technically until June 15th. My area is June 1st. Looking in, nothing's changed. That boulder was already in there when I was here 3 years ago. Not even a clog against it. I guess these things blast so much that, yeah. What do you guys think of this? They put a coupling on the end of it. Do you think that saves it or helps it not clog in some way? Or do you think there was a, yeah, it's missing a part. I wonder, it probably got damaged and they just removed it. It was missing like that. That's what was probably there. That part cut at a 45-degree angle. You see this one's low in the ground, that one's barely has anything flowing through it. Primary flow culvert in the summer, this will be the only one going. Nothing will be going through that unless we're in the high times of flow. But why do they put a 45-degree angle there? There's actually a good reason for it. First off, think about it. When the water is halfway up it, if a big log comes in, like that one we saw at the last pipe, got slammed against it, if it goes to that, as the water rises, it'll push it up top, theoretically. Back when they installed this, was all rocks. With the trees around it now, it probably won't work as intended. But yeah, if a log got against it, as the water rises, it'll push it and it'll abandon the log up top. That's why they oftentimes will do that on rivers. But these culverts, they're still working fine. They've been here for decades. No bridge required when you use a high quality culvert. It's doing good. I kind of want to peek at that other one before we head on out. I got the big high boots on, but is this slippery? All right, not as slippery. Probably because we're not in full sun. There's a lot of wind going through this pipe too. Trying not to flood my boots. And I also cannot see the bottom of the river. Oh, almost fell. The bottom of the river is just so dark. I can't see. I'm just feeling around on what to put my weight on. These are beaver marks. They were from sometime last year. See, all the tree already grew a little bit. Ooh. All right, the other one has a beaver chewed stick. It also looks like this pipe could have been lifted a little bit by high flow. It looks like maybe it was down a little bit because there's a good, I can see like foot gap underneath this thing. There's a hollow spot here, I gotta be careful. It's all clear. I just want to grab that one stick. Is it worth it though? Possibly falling in. Is there another stick I can use to poke it? You see what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to get the rock to slide into it. Boom, boom, boom. There's no more small rocks. Let's get down in the water. It's not as deep as it appears. See? Just can't really see the bottom too well. Yep, that was chewed by a beaver. Bump, 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 bump. All right. Let's get back up to the road. You see how this is kind of, it looks like melted and stuff? They used a acetylene torch to cut this thing open. You see that coupling right there? I believe the other one's just missing. Or it got damaged during unclogging or something and they just removed it. Gotta check for ticks going through bushes like this. Or maybe the ticks don't like the dust. You'll become pretty dusty walking through bushes like this on the side of a dirt road. Looking for a good trail to get back up. Water sometimes travels down here. The grass is all starting to come up. But remember, in northern Maine, the trees don't grow their leaves. They start growing them towards the end of May. They won't be full until sometime in June. Thanks for watching. You know how I was saying that people often will complain about me sending debris downstream because it'll get stuck at the next line of pipes? Well, those first pipes we unclogged, they go down to a reservoir. There's no more culverts, not even a bridge. But this one, you can complain about this if you want. That stick actually will go to those first pipes we were at in the video. Honestly, it'll probably not get there because again, it will have to go through a large swampy area where it's gonna get stuck. Check out all those abandoned bridges right there. This must be the junkyard. They're probably gonna have a big bonfire soon, maybe next winter. It's all the junk bridges they've been replacing. We got another deer. Whoop. Ran away. Oh look, there's another deer. Right there.